Thank you very much. Not much else does, really, but thanks.
That's dropped the 27 car, though, out of 6th position, so tumbled a little bit further down the order. Back now behind the Nissan that led the race until that stopped just a little while ago from Florian Strauss. Katsumasa Chao back in the car now, the 35 car down in 7th position. That's a pretty car, isn't it? The pink, purple, black, Donut King sponsored Lotus Exige Class C car. Ahead of one of the B-Class Porsches there.
GT4 Class entry and involved in a fight with the grey Aston Martin behind it. That is first and second in the GT4 category. So they are fighting amongst themselves for the class lead. GT4 cars, Graham, they're a step below GT3. It's reasonably self-explanatory.
Much closer to a production class. What you basically have got there is a little bit of performance, performance parts on the car and some safety systems on there too, John.
You are now allowed paddle shift on the GT4 cars, but you don't have ABS and traction control as you do on the GT3 cars. And these are very difficult cars to drive, very powerful, upwards of 350 horsepower. And this Aston Martin is closing in, and this is it. It is on for the lead in the category.
It is at the moment, John, but it's the Lotus that actually started the green flag running here second. So the Lotus has gone by the Aston Martin. Chris Porritt, though, doesn't want any of that. He wants that lead back. So it's V8 Aston Martin against a 4-cylinder, lovely little light car, the Lotus Exige. And it's going to be interesting to see how these cars handle the up the mountain, across the mountain, then down back again.
Driven a GT4 Aston Martin, not in competition, mind you. It's a very well-balanced machine. Oh, Lambo issues. Hold on in there. Let's head down to the Donut King. Adam.
That's, no matter how you say it, John, it's not going to come out the way you intend it to. I'm here with the Donut King, Tony Alford, and you've just gotten out of the class-leading C car Lotus. Beautiful paint scheme, first off, let me just say. The pink really stands out on the track, but it also just stands out because it's led for most of the day. You're familiar with leading at this track. How's your race been going?
The race has been going well. It's a very good contest between the Donut King Lotus and the Aston Martin. We're swapping leads, and it's really good. The heat's, I think, taking it out of all the cars out there, particularly the smaller cars, the smaller capacity cars, and we certainly have timing coming out of the car, and that loses horsepower, but beautiful day, couldn't ask for more.
And the heat's taking it out of the drivers as well as everyone else on the pit lane, but you're currently plugged into your cool suit. Will you be getting back in for another stint? Well,
for a start, I didn't have a cool suit in the car, and I didn't have water in the car, so I am quite hot, but yes, hopefully I'll get back in for the last stint.
And what's the plan from here on out?
We just keep going and, just run our own race, set our own pace, and we're either there at the end or we're not.
Would you rather have a 12-lap lead or be having this great fun battle with the Aston Martin?
A 12-lap lead, thank you.
And that from the Donut King, you would like to have his little bit of a buffer.
No, keep talking. We're busy here, and there's no time for this. I tell you what, see what I have to work on here. So we need to go to a break. We'll be back on 7, live and free, with more from Liquid Moly Bathurst. 12 hours for 2015. At the end of this,
So as it gets closer and closer, having to bring the number 10 Bentley down pit lane for tank full of fuel, John.
54 in from the Ridges GT4 Class C battle. They have been at it pretty much all the way through, the Lotus and the Aston Martin. Another British mark affair. And interesting way to get in. Just head in first and then settle yourself back into the seat. V6 Lotus Exige. Battle with the St. Gallen dark grey Aston Martin. And look at the top of the screen. You can see that they are in the pit, and Chris Porritt has dropped 5 laps to them now.
He must have had a problem.
We've had a problem with that car, and that's going to be hard to pull back if the Donut King car runs all the way through.
That's rather a shame, because the battle we've had on track between just these two cars has been nose to tail almost all the way through. They'll go one way or the other with pit stops, but clearly the very pretty pink Lotus now has a significant advantage over the equally pretty flat grey Aston Martin.
Meantime, Stephen Kidd continues to lap in right in the numbers, the kind of numbers that we'd expect to see from the Bentley. It's Van Toor in second, McDowell in third. 10, 15 and 97. Bentley, Audi, Aston Martin, all I think with 2 stops, or at least not 2 full stops, but a stop and a splash for those cars. I'm pretty certain that the Nissan can go on 1 more stop. Florian Strauss behind the wheel of the 35 is being pressured at the moment by Jack LeBrock in the 36 Aston Martin, in the 36 AMG Mercedes-Benz SLS, and they may just need a splash or a little help from a safety car as well, as the Lotus is rolling again down the pit lane.
We've got a big battle on track at the moment for 9th position. Tony Verlander in that Clearwater Ferrari that we were thinking might get back onto the lead lap. Hasn't worked out for them, but it's just put in the fastest lap of that car's race, a 2:05 dead, and is now within a second of David Russell in the 32 Lamborghini ahead. Meantime, with the 2 cars 4th and 5th, we've just been watching them on screen, Florian Strauss and Jack LeBrock are beginning to reel in the Aston Martin for 3rd, a couple of seconds a lap quicker at the moment over the last 2 laps, and that gap is coming down to under 15 seconds.
We're predicting somewhere in the region of 277 laps of Bathurst for the 2015 Liqui Moly 12 hours.
Guys, well done. Class C, would you please congratulate our winner, Anthony James Alford.